All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to another Eric flight adventure on our Around the USA flights. We are picking up right where we left off. Let's get some music on here too as well. Pick up right where we left off. We're at Buffalo, New York, and we're going to fly to Syracuse, New York. And there's not a lot of flights left on this Around the USA flights. We've been doing it since June, and we're almost back in my real life home base of Plymouth. So we're on both Microsoft Flight Simulator multiplayer as well as VATSIM, which we will be contacting Cleveland Center tonight, and it should be a good time. So hopefully everything's working here. Kind of testing. Nope, see the frame rate's down again, but this time I have an idea of what it is. So give me 1 second here. And no matter what I do, no matter if I set it up, something always happens for this. So I do have a backup plan just in case, but this is getting aggravating. And the weather tonight is supposed to be pretty good till we get to Syracuse, where then it's going to go down to about 3,500 overcast. And I'm really getting sick and tired of this NVIDIA broadcast, which is not really working for me. Let me, I'm going to go mute on the microphone for a second. Let me try to get this working here. And if not, boy, this is aggravating. All right. Now, that should almost be working. We should be good. Come on, camera. Here we go. There we go. All right, we're going to leave that. Hopefully it will stay that way. Just got to minimize that window. And that's it. Leave it alone. I'm getting my 30 frames per second again. But all right, we got a camera, we've got our plane, fuel is on. Let's get started and let's get up in that air up there. So checklist is right here. Fuel is on, seat back, track back locked, avionics off. We'll also be flying real time and real weather tonight. Autopilot off, throttle 4th of inch. Let's just test the throttles before I do anything here, because again I have the Logitech quadrant here as well, and with SPAD that sometimes messes things up a little bit on the throttle, but we're good now. All right, mixture full lean, brakes, master on, beacon on. Okay, fuel pump. Let's get a light on in here actually before we do anything. Here we go. All right, fuel pump on. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Full lean, pump off. All right, clear prop, max to start. Here we go. Burn like a kitten. Ah, I haven't said that in a while. Go with the corniness. Could be one with corniness. All right. Oil pressures in the green. Lights as required. We're going to put landing taxi nav for ADS-B, and also because it's nighttime. Good. Mixture as required. We'll leave it where it is for now. All right, moving on. Seatbelt harnesses, flaps up. We'll test those flaps. The quadrant looks good. They are indeed up. Just double checking right there. Heat vent defrost. Let's check at Rex weather force for an outside air temperature here. It says it's 35 degrees, so I believe we do need some heat here. Let's get some on. Go, cabin heat is on. This will be good practice for me. I got my nighttime landings in last Friday, not like a week and a couple days ago, so I could fly passengers at night. So, and I do plan on doing a flight with some friends at night, so it's good to fly at night to get more work at that. All right, where was I? Avionics on, including the transponder. Very good. ATIS. Let's get my flight log over here. ATIS is 135.35.
Wind 271 at tree 0. Visibility, Niner. Sky
Still strong
condition,
winds out
clear. Temperature, 1.
there.
Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter 29.8 tree. ILS runway tree 2 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 2. VFR aircraft say direction of flight.
Also saw that when you used the mouse on the altimeter earlier today, it wasn't
Advise
working.
controller on initial contact you have
Kept
Alpha.
going down, but I guess it kind of worked its way out now, so I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.
Niner Golf 0 Airport
Good.
Information Alpha 0200 Zulu. Wind 271 at tree 0.
What just happened there?
Visibility,
I don't know. ATIS is 135.5.
Buffalo Airport
35.
Information Alpha 0200
Okay,
Zulu.
that was weird.
Wind 271 at tree 0. Visibility, Niner. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 1.
I
Dew
just double
point,
check it.
1 tree. Altimeter
I forgot the fuel.
29.8 tree.
Ah,
ILS
let's
runway
pretend I
tree
fueled
2
it
in
up.
use. Landing and departing runway tree 2.
all right. They're saying
VFR
3-2,
aircraft
but
say
we're
direction
gonna go
of
by
flight.
VATSIM here.
All
Cleveland
aircraft
Center
brief
is
back
with
home short
us,
instructions.
so
Advise
we'll
controller on
contact them. I
initial
don't know what
contact you have
center they
Alpha.
want me to contact though, so we'll have to contact one and
Niner Golf
contact
0
that. This says
Airport Information Alpha
119.87.
0200 Zulu.
So let's do that. 119.87. Again, I'm using my Saitek radio panels here. That's 875. Yeah.
The other two went to around 1.9er.
Negative, they're going to be taking over relief from you, so just stand by. I'll get your own done.
There you go. Sorry, it's a little low on volume there. Alright, with that, let's double check.
1132, turn left, saying 250, descend, maintain 6
Our
out.
flight today should take a little over an hour, so. Altimeter check, transponder, yep. ADSB is on with the nav, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna pretend it's that. Radio test. Cleveland Center, November 489 Echo Foxtrot. Radio check, please.
Number 9 Echo Foxtrot, please go ahead. Number 9 Echo Foxtrot 6, sorry, say your request one more time.
Requesting just a radio check for 9 Echo Foxtrot.
Q55.
Thank you, 9 Echo Foxtrot. Alright, taxi light is on, and brakes will test on the way out. We gotta call Cleveland Center up, tell them where we are and what we want to do. Cleveland Center, November 489 Echo Foxtrot.
9 Echo Foxtrot, go ahead.
Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot on the ground at Buffalo, general aviation parking, requesting taxi, VFR, departure to the east with current weather.
Drive 9, return request on the way.
Roger, 9 Echo Foxtrot. He's a little low in volume, so I'm going to turn him up a little bit.
Delta 276, turn right, heading 170. Charlie Papa India, Vector, Lee, Manchester City, East Boston, Alpine, restrictions, survey, 3 crew.
Oops, sorry, accidentally pushed the wrong button there. Okay, I was waiting. He said standby. So hopefully he's checking something up. We'll give him a minute or two, and we'll check on with him again.
Delta 276, turn right, heading 240, something running 27 right, localizer.
Waiting for clearance still.
Delta 276, turn right, heading 240, something running 27 right, localizer.
This would be Class Charlie, so I am waiting for that.
American 9614, flighting 360, descend, maintain 4000.
Flighting 360, descend, maintain 4000, American 9614.
Delta 132, turn left, saying 180.
Must be pretty busy. This is what we see.
Delta 1132, turn left, saying 180.
Cleveland.
Delta 276, 2 miles from Friends, maintain 6 hours till staff's cleared out, runway 27 right.
Okay, so he's talking about there.
Cleveland Center, November 301, Yankee Tango.
Oh,
Yeah,
contact
276,
back.
Alright, all VFR aircraft expect to complete a 3-minute delay. Those are instructions.
Okay, so you're saying a 3-minute delay, but again, I want to be this like real world, so it'd be like, oh, it's all really clogged up here at Buffalo. So we're gonna wait 3 minutes. I know it's not exciting, so I'm sorry to you watching the stream, but we've tried to be realistic with VATSIM here.
American 9614, connect Cleveland Center 134.9er.
34.9 for American 9614.
He's controlling the whole area here, so. Okay, this is what he's got, all of Cleveland right here. But we'll be coming from Buffalo. We'll go to Niagara Falls. I think I'm gonna go really high.
Cleveland Center,
Get over to Class Delta here.
request flight level
Then we'll be
290.
heading to Rochester.
American
Rochester,
9614,
Syracuse.
Cleveland Center, turn to left,
That's where we're
heading
gonna end up
310,
in
intercept
New York
0928, right localizer.
So we're waiting.
Yeah, American 9614, intercept 0928, left loc.
Now it's the most exciting thing.
Sure, ranks 3016, Cleveland Center, down.
Earlier today, we had ATC going nuts on me as I was coming into Buffalo, giving me like 5 million different directions all at
Sure, ranks
once.
3016, rate of contact 10 miles north of Mansfield, level 240, descend
So it is
via
what
the
it
Kraken
is.
2, arrival landing west, altimeter 3015.
Okay, I'll give him like another minute and I gotta call him up and see what's going on.
At 1132, turn to right, heading 270 vectors for the SNR 27 right.
He's got a lot going into Detroit, I guess.
Right turn 270, radar vectors for the ILS, 27 left at Delta 1132.
Delta 1132, expect runway 27 left.
27 left, Delta 132.
At least you know we'll have enough fuel. I calculated 22.1. That includes the 45 minutes of VFR night over what you required and the 1.1 for running up. So I said 22.1 gallons total. By filling it,
At
we have
1132, 15 miles from
extra
just turn
gallons
rating
above
300, intercept the localizer.
So total flight time's about an hour 21, 139 nautical miles. And I was hoping to really beat
Senator, if you're already aware, we hit some icing conditions as well as significant bumps here at 4,000 to 5,000.
At Delta 2786, wind 290 to 15, gust 23 on R27 right, clear to land.
Citizen right, cleared to land, 276.
Cleveland Center, good evening, Philippine 126 with you, maintaining flight level
Yeah, I'm gonna call
290.
Philippines 126, Cleveland Center, down.
Cleveland Center, November 489 Echo Foxtrot, still awaiting taxi clearance at Buffalo.
November 48, Echo Foxtrot, runway 23, taxi via Quebec, Delta cross runway 14, Quebec, hold short runway 23 at Delta.
Alright, that was Quebec, cross 14, and go to, was it 32 via Delta? For Echo Foxtrot?
Delta 1132, 10 miles from just maintain. Descend and maintain 4,000 until established, clear to ask runway 27 left approach.
Descend and maintain 4,000 until established, clear for the ILS, 27 left, Delta 1132.
Alright, I guess it is. You didn't say read back correct, but that's where I'm going, so let's get out of here.
Runway 2583, turn right, heading 090, descend and maintain
Here we
4,000
go.
vectors
We'll
for the
stay
gas,
headed,
runway
not hit
28.
the ground crew guy. We'll test the
Right, 090 and down to 4,000, runway 2583.
Guy's loud over there. Whoa. Okay, my right rudder's still busted till I can get a new one. So let's just go with it. And we're gonna be via Quebec.
Anyone else on standby?
November 301 Yankee Tango.
My light keys
Number
falling.
301 Yankee Tango, Cleveland.
Yeah, we're Rochester Airport,
Whatever,
looking
we'll
to
leave
get VFR to the west.
Okay. Now to the right.
Correction, to the east.
And that looks like it's a taxi line out of here.
One
so-
Yankee Tango, would you like flight following? One Yankee Tango, would you like flight following to the east?
Yeah, we do.
Number 301 Yankee Tango, squawk 5746.
Help to have signs.
Squawk
at these
5746,
airports for the taxiways,
1 Yankee Tango.
but I have to use the airport diagram the best I can. Okay, we're clear left and right. Going across. Go. So thank you for joining me tonight. Chat is open. Feel free to chat. If you just want to sit back and watch, that's
9614,
fine
short
too. I
final to 8
appreciate
left.
any type of watching.
We're 9614. Wind 280 at 19 August 261928 left, clear to land.
Alright, we are on Quebec.
Clear to land to 8 left, American 9614.
I'm going to be crossing runway 3214, which I have got clearance.
Delta 1132, wind
Clear.
290 at 15,
You
gust
also wanna fly with us.
23927 left, clear to land.
Feel free to do that. I am on Microsoft Flight Simulator as well, so you don't have to be on VATSIM to fly with me. I'll turn him down a little bit now that they're very loud. Delta, we should be taking a left once we cross here. Okay, good
Runway
practice to
2583,
flag
descend and
line, not
maintain
just during the day.
2300.
Down to 2,300, runway 2583.
Wow, people are very loud. I'm minus 17 on volume too, so I don't know. It's just really hot on that mic there.
Center, November 132, Yankee, right for taxi.
Alright, Delta to 332.
For 132, Yankee runway 28, taxi via Alpha Bravo, hold short runway 28 at Alpha.
We had a special request from the other controller for runway 4 since we're literally sitting right by it.
Number 12, Yankee runway 4, taxi by Alpha.
Runway 4 taxi by Alpha, and can the Cessna 172 behind us get that too, because he's fine with us.
November 132, Yankee flight runway 4, taxi by Alpha.
Clear.
301 Yankee Tango, taxi by Alpha.
Let's just double check that he said 32, because he seems a little overwhelmed over there. Let me just cross this whole short line here. Cleveland Center, Cessna Foxtrot. We just want to double check and make sure that you want us to taxi to runway 32 via Delta at Buffalo.
America Foxtrot, that's runway 23, cross runway 32 at Alpha, continue.
Roger, crossing runway 32 at Alpha. America Foxtrot.
Non-America Foxtrot, just be advised your last taxiing clearance was Quebec Delta cross 14, hold short at 23, but you can cross 23 and 32, continue Delta Alpha to 23.
Alright, continue through Alpha to runway 23, Adam Foxtrot. Again, I read it back to him, and I probably should have just waited until he got back to me, but it's alright.
Unit
Really,
967,
they would've
Cleveland Center,
got
alright.
back to me and said, that is correct, you're cleared for taxi. So, the reason why we actually do that in the rule, but we're not perfect, either me nor him, so it's no one's real big fault.
We're
We'll
at
learn together.
9614, text parking, Foxtrot, Tango, cross runway 28 center.
And we're
Foxtrot
on our way
Tango,
down
cross
Alpha.
8 center,
There's
American
no little
9614.
run-up area, it looks like on the right now.
United 90, or United 1976 or
Use
927, right, line up and wait.
Do the run-up, and then call him up and say that we're
Line up 127 right, United 1976.
Center, November 132, Yankee. The Cessna ahead of us is going to be 5 minutes
local
ahead of
time,
us due
9:21,
to
so it should
his
be up by about 9:30,
speed and my
9:35.
speed. Is that okay?
And that should take us to about 11 o'clock or so Eastern Standard Time, where I am located in
Runway
Red
2583, turn left, heading
So we're still good
2900.
Left 290, runway 2583.
I'm gonna get there.
Delta 4211, back with you at 39.
My right rudder's actually
Delta
working a little
4211,
better tonight,
Cleveland Center, roger.
but the plastic's ripping out
Delta
on the inside.
276,
I have a
left
Saitek
my able ground,
Cessna
.8.
rudder pedals, and they're getting their butt kicked.
Ground point 8, good day.
Should
1976,
be a runner
129015,
right
gust
right.
23, fly heading 240, runway 27 or 8, cleared to take off.
Nice.
Fly heading 240,
Right.
clear for takeoff, United 1976.
Come to the end over here. And then we will proceed to do the run-up.
Actually, Center November 132 Yankee, whenever we depart, can we do a circle to let the
That's the
section in
ILS
front of us go
line,
ahead
we
of us?
don't need that.
Envoy 2583,
Alright.
15 miles from Bylaw, maintain
Run up,
2300
brakes are set,
until
fuel set
established,
to
split
both.
ass, runway 28 approach.
Yep, should probably get some more light.
Maintain 2,300, still
Yeah,
established,
set.
clear for the ILS.
Take
28
off.
approach, Envoy 2583.
Flight controls in right.
Number 132 Yankee, are you ready to go at
Looks
4?
good. All right, on enunciator lights.
Our
working.
other pilot in our group is going to go in front of us.
Cannot believe how loud people are tonight.
And I'm
It's
CDM
usually not this
930.
loud, and usually don't have
I'm
to touch this, but
significantly faster
that's as
than
low as I can get it for output volume.
Right,
So.
number 301 Yankee Tango,
Alright,
course
with
departure
that,
approved, runway 4, cleared for
flight
takeoff,
controls,
wind
enunciator lights, I did
26011.
that. Instrument, stern pointer's in the middle, no flag. The heading should be
Clear for
about
takeoff,
29,
runway
which it
4,
is.
November
Vertical speed looks
301,
good.
Yankee Tango.
Altimeter looks good. Horizon looks good. Airspeed looks good. Mixture in for best power.
And
Okay, no
Center
primers.
November
Well, there's no
132
primer, so
Yankee,
we're gonna
is
go
there any way
1800.
we could get a formation flight due to my speed so that I don't have to fall behind him so that we can stay together?
Here we go. Now check the right magneto.
Sure, you ready to depart now, or are you done?
Very good.
going
Back
up
to
in the air?
both.
I'm ready to depart whenever, like,
Left.
I'd rather him depart to let him get on course first.
Back to both.
Since,
All right. Vacuum looks
since,
good.
he's
Amp should be up
far,
there,
but
but
yeah,
that's
I'm
always
ready
where
to
it is in this
depart.
model, so consider that good. Oil pressure, oil temper in the green. Idling. Should come down to about, 695. That's good. It says 625.
Is that possible?
It's about
132
there all the
Yankee?
time. All right, back to
Hey,
1,000.
firm.
Roger.
Right. We're
Just
going to
also
start getting
never
out of here.
take off.
Strobes are going to go on it this time. And if there's a problem, the takeoff roll, mechanical emergency or otherwise, and there's enough available runway ahead of us. Hey, Melvin, how's it going? You know it. If there's a problem on the takeoff roll and there's enough available runway ahead of us, we'll abort takeoff, land directly ahead in the runway. If we are under,
Spirit
let's
wing
say,
30, 16,
1,400
turn
feet,
to
there's a
right,
problem,
heading
mechanical
0,
emergency or otherwise,
20 vectors for the IS,
we will land
runway
directly ahead, no more
27
33
right.
turns, best glide speed
Alright,
is
so heading
68.
020 and got a pirate and you got a sec.
For above 1,400 and there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will take a turn
Oh, you're ready, copy, for
to the
36.
right and land downwind in the taxiway, the grass and runway roads available to us. Best glide
Spirit
speed
Wing
again is 68.
3016, just report F12, top
Clear out
about
there.
12,300.
Pretty good.
Temperature should be negative 7.
Wait till we get
Trace
into
icing and a pretty smooth ride.
ATC and we'll ask for takeoff
Roger,
clearance.
thank you.
Cleveland Center, Cessna Foxtrot holding short runway 23 at Buffalo via Alpha, requesting takeoff clearance, departure to the east.
For 9 Echo Foxtrot, wind 26023, gust 30, runway 23, cleared for takeoff, on course departure approved.
Clear for takeoff and en route departure approved, 9 Echo Foxtrot. Okay guys, here we go.
And number 132, Yankee,
hard to
make
get
left
some,
close traffic, runway
The ATC
4,
is
cleared
active
for takeoff.
tonight, let's put it that way, so.
Left close traffic, runway 4,
But
clear to
alright,
take
we'll
off.
get my
Yankee.
stopwatch ready. And it's
Runway
good to see you, Daniel. How you doing?
1260 at 11, runway 28, clear to land traffic will be left.
Oh,
and
wow,
left
congratulations
circuit,
to
for
all of
runway
us.
4
We got
to the
100
north center.
messages total on 2 flights today.
Clear
Right in
land
the middle.
28 and we'll be looking for the traffic.
I don't know why
Envoy
that guy's
2583.
wicked hot mic. That used to be me all the time, by the way. On the floor, full throttle, rotate at 55, climb at 74, and hopefully my right rudder will work with me tonight. So here we go. I did tweak the sensitivity settings.
Center United 1976 is level 4,230.
Looking good.
1976
See if we can
radar
see Niagara
contact,
Falls.
contact flight level
Radar.
35, 0
Rotate.
proceed direct to Barry, delete the speed restriction.
It is a little windy tonight. They set up to 30 knots.
Direct Barry
So
up to 350 United 1976.
I'm going to turn on course to Niagara. We're going to go up higher though than 30,100. So that way we can get hopefully above the class Delta. and
Center Delta 1132 clear of
get a good view of Niagara Falls, at least from a distance. Earlier today,
Delta
I flew the
32
drone
contact
over
ground
there,
18.
so if you really want to see it up close, you
Ground
can
18,
check out the
Delta
footage
32.
on the Eric Flight YouTube channel, where I took the drone out to Niagara Falls. But at night, I have
Spirit
an add-on that's
range
supposed to do the
3016,
night
just
lighting, and
center
it actually looks
maintain
really
3000.
cool. So I'm hoping we'll see.
Down to 3000,
Some.
Spirit Wings 3016.
We're gonna just get to pattern altitude about 1,700 feet here, and then we're gonna turn right to Niagara Falls.
301 Yankee
Pretty
Tango
nice
remains
night out
south
here.
of the runway 28 extended center line.
Roger.
And if you guys feel like
south of the runway
quick
28,
quick
extended
hopping on this, you know,
line,
feel free to take off from Niagara
Runway
Falls
25,
or
83 traffic at
airport around the area.
11 o'clock
Join me
in
as we'll be
7
heading
miles
towards
of
Rochester once we
172
get at
eastbound
Niagara Falls
2500.
We have the traffic inside runway 2583.
That guy's
301 Yankee Tango
I got the
traffic at 10
volume
o'clock
all the way
in
down. I cannot
5
believe how
miles
loud it is
in
tonight.
Embraer 135 westbound, same altitude, report in sight.
No marker needed, thank you. And we'll stay on with Cleveland Center for now. I don't know if I'm gonna do flight following or
November
not.
132 Yankee, can we go on course now?
But alright, we are above pattern altitude, so we're gonna take a right. We're gonna go direct to Niagara Falls. We should have been in here. This whole GPS thing got messed up, so I'll just use the
132 Yankee,
GPS
be
on my
craft.
tablet like I usually do
Spawn
in
back
real
in
life,
at,
but we should be able to
we're
see
gonna
it.
restart, and can we do that takeoff
Distance,
again?
that might be it right there. Let's see if that
Yeah,
points to it.
connect in the pad by the runway.
Yeah, it's actually right up there, so let's fly there. But I need to be over 3,100 to avoid class Delta and not have to worry about it. So we'll go to like 4,500 because we are going in a westerly direction. So we'll just keep climbing here. Again, I have two-way communication.
Number 489 Echo Foxtrot, would you like flight following today?
Affirmative on that flight following for 9 Echo Foxtrot.
9 Echo Fox, squawk 5723.
5723 for 9 Echo Foxtrot.
Aircraft 967 cross east and net maintain 17,000, Buffalo altimeter 2982.
That way we can be clear for Niagara Falls. In case we don't see it, we can be at like 3,000. Still kind of. But we'll try to go to 4,500.
Okay, Cleveland Center, November 132 Yankee, ready to go RP for clearance to November Yankee 62.
Or 132 Yankee squawk 5745.
A lot of traffic out there, probably because of Niagara Falls. Perhaps. Perhaps not.
Spirit Wings 3016, 15 miles from Dottie, turn left heading 290, maintain 3000 until established, split asteroid 27 right approach.
We're to be left heading 270, should establish ILS 27 right, got another pirate, you got a sec.
And we're ready to
As you can see, it's overcast, but that's pretty high. That's not as close as it was earlier today. The only place we have to
air
really worry about is
about
Syracuse.
negative
You
2
see all this
Celsius,
down
light
to
to
like
moderate frozen precipitation.
5,000 out there, so that's why our cruising altitude ultimately will be 3,500. But again, I'm going to be above 3,100.
you said that was 5,500?
Affirmative.
Roger, thank you.
Cleveland Center, November 9, Cessna, Niagara Foxtrot. Just be advised that we're going to climb to 4,500 to go over class Delta at Niagara Falls International.
Or 489 Echo Foxtrot, radar contact, maintain appropriate VFR altitudes.
Roger, Niagara Foxtrot. Good. He's being very understanding tonight. But when I was flying into Buffalo earlier today, that man gave me like so many directions, and I wasn't even in the
2583,
pattern
welcome
yet.
to Rochester,
He was
right
telling me like
naval,
where to go and taxi already. And
or
I
Alpha
was
Charlie
like,
to the
yeah, you
ramp,
probably
thanks
have
for
to
flying, have a
repeat
good night.
that.
Alpha Charlie to the ramp. Thanks for the ATC. Have a good night. Envoy 2583.
And then he kind of read Quebec as Gulf, so then I was totally confused with the taxi instructions. So it was it's been quite the day with ATC, but we're all learning together, like I said. So there's no need to blame anyone. We all learn together. But I'm really hoping to get at least a distance shot of Niagara Falls for you. There is a special VFR which I'm not going to do for flights, and we're not going to cross the border, obviously. So hopefully we'll see something, at least lights or something out there.
November 132 Yankee, can we taxi runway 4?
Could always put the autopilot on. It's another thing too. So yeah, we could do that, I guess. Okay, and then we'll hold alt at 4,500. So climb at 500.
Delta 4211 Boston off, flying frequency change approved.
122, this is Small Light. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening and
Yeah, so maybe we
good
send
week.
the drone out, and
Delta
I don't have to worry about
4211.
flying the plane. So see heading. Where is it? No. Yes. Okay. And I do have the mod for the 530. I don't know if it affects the autopilot, but they said that they improved the autopilot. So let's get to 4,500.
3016, just one more amendment to that Palmyra. It's moderate to severe icing there. But
We will be looking
DME,
out
it's
for
about a
icing tonight, too,
15-mile
as well,
DME
so
here on the Detroit VOR.
We'll have to see. But that is in Detroit, but there are showers to the
Roger,
south of
thank you.
us. Yeah, you gotta love the night lighting in the new
Yankee, we're
simulator.
ready to go.
I definitely love night flying better.
132 Yankee Runway 4 taxi
And
via
I want to do real time because we haven't done a
can we do
nighttime
an
flight on these
intercept
USA
departure
flights for a
122
while.
You
We
want
can
Alpha
also
1
check
or
out the
Alpha
night lighting, hopefully,
The one that's
Niagara
right in front of
Falls.
us, 122 Yankee.
So,
Alright, I don't know exactly where you are.
We'll
I don't
see.
see you on my radar, but it would seem to be Alpha 1 or Alpha 2.
let's hope this
We'll let you know, 122 Yankee.
holds here.
132 Yankee Runway 4 at
Being
Alpha
above class
1
Delta,
taxi
it's
Alpha.
going to be better for us.
Taxi.
So I wouldn't have to
We're
worry
at
about anything
Alpha
there.
right now. We went departure off at Alpha, 122 Yankee.
There we go. The autopilot seems to be
Booking
working,
126,
so
New
hopefully it
York,
doesn't disconnect or anything.
125.32.
But,
Well, New York Center
get within class
125
Delta there. Then we'll take the
one,
drone out if we have to, if we don't get a
Dito,
good view.
Philippine 106.
Which we might not, I gotta be honest with you.
York 3016, a wind.
So, I do wish cars showed up more at night, I will say that.
Runway 27 right,
But,
and 1
you do have to love the amount of lighting they do have.
Flying 27 right, we'll do our best.
Niagara
Well,
Falls
Super
International
3016.
Falls would be right over here somewhere. So again, we'll send the drone out there as we get closer if we have to. Hopefully get a good view of the falls while we're on autopilot. And I might have to go back to the plane too as well, so that way I can kind of get it to go to Rochester. But I usually don't use autopilot. I've never used it in the real world, honestly, so
132
But it
Yankee
does have
Wind
its
260 at 11 on course departure approved, runway
advantages,
4, clear
so.
to take off.
Course departure approved, 4 clear for takeoff, 122 Yankee.
I guess we could do the direct with that mod that I got. I don't know if it's better without this, and I haven't used this since getting the update, but we can just put points in as we need it, you know. I guess we could practice when I do fly the 172N that has the 530 in it at the flight school. Oop, there you go.
Aircraft 967, contact Toronto, center 125.77.
So this will be our next point right after we get done looking at the falls. This didn't activate before like that, but now it did, so that's awesome. Alright, we are just about to traverse into Class Delta. 4,500. We're still in Class Charlie, which is up to 4,700, but we're above the Class Delta, like I said. No, you can't see anything right now. Oh, there it is. Is that it? That looks like some lighting that could look like falls lighting. So, let's see. Yeah, because the river would be this way. So that is Niagara Falls over there. It changes lighting and everything. This was a free add-on. I downloaded a bunch of add-ons for this. Buffalo included. Out down there. I downloaded the city, so it has some of the real-world buildings from Google, and it looks a little bit better than the big
Cleveland Center,
data.
Delta 587, holding short at 27
But alright,
right at Victor 1.
let's send the drone out. I'll keep this on autopilot for a little bit. See what we can do here. Let's get a bearing here.
So 587.
Send it out. Hopefully it doesn't crash the
the
desktop. I always worry about them
traffic on
running
a
the
3
drone.
mile file.
But
Holding short 27 right, Delta 587.
we'll see. Let's get a look at the falls. American side. Oh yeah, here we go. Horseshoe Falls, American Falls. How's that, huh?
432F,
That's pretty good. You got Bridal Veil Falls over there.
Picked up 432
Falls.
heavy, Cleveland Center.
Canadian side over
procedure
here.
Emma.
I haven't been here in a while. I think last time I went was 2007.
432F.
Hopefully when this COVID thing's all over, if I save enough money, maybe, just maybe, be able to go here with a plane someday, do the special VFR visual here. But for now, we'll just use the drone and go with it. But that is beautiful scenery. I know it's not the most realistic, but it's more realistic than the actual default. So it'd be nice to see the water move more. But it is what it is, you know. Beautiful scenery. Alright, that was the falls. Niagara Falls.
587 around
We are going to have to turn, so we're going to go back to the plane, get back in it,
587.
and we're going to take the autopilot off and turn to, well, what's my heading that I calculated? Let's see. My flight log says a heading of 88. So here we go, autopilot off. We're also going to descend down to 3,500.
Springs 3016, right when able, ground point 8. See you,
Trim this
Connor.
out more. I mean, lean up to make sure.
Right when
we're
able,
good as
we'll
well.
see you, Mr. Wallace. Have a good night. Spirit Wings 3016.
1976 in my space Indianapolis
Right
Center,
about
offline.
there.
Radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
Okay, 2,400 and return to 88.
Unicom United 1976.
I guess loading that extra scenery really took its toll on the simulator, but we'll get out of here soon. And it will get better as we leave the Niagara area, so right about here. Go. Yeah, looks like we're good. Alright, now where did my flight plan go? I don't know. Let me load it on the tablet GPS. I didn't make it active, that's what happened. Okay.
Out of 580.
Trim should stay
7
down
wind,
when pointing down.
wind
but it's
29015, gust 23, fly heading 240, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff.
Get down to 3,500.
240, 27 right, clear for takeoff, Delta
You know what? I
587.
never did set the stopwatch, but that's okay. We'll just stop it, start it here, and we'll fudge the numbers on the log here. So we'll call that 14. And we should be at Lockport. Lockport in about 8 minutes. That'll be our next checkpoint, which is a town off our left. So we should see a bunch of lights, and it's also a VFR checkpoint. So on the sectional. But it was nice to see the falls at night in Niagara Falls. Even if it was with the drone, I like the drone being an option in this. Now we're on our way. I just wish the trim worked better in this. But I got
For Cleveland Center 132 Yankee, our aircraft does not want to stay at one altitude, so can we have a block altitude of up to probably 3,000?
Goodbye, Buffalo.
132
Niagara
Yankee,
Falls.
maintain appropriate
Shall
VFR
see you
altitudes for
at a
direction
later
of
date.
flight.
I'm going to set the course a little bit better. We are on our way to Rochester, New York. We're going to overfly that and continue on to Syracuse and land there. So, if any of you have any questions, comments, please feel free to chat. It does help out the Twitch stream, and we're also, I think, 6 people away getting closer to affiliate status on Twitch. So if you have not followed already, please push that follow button as we go for a nice night flight here, and almost at the conclusion of our Around the USA flights. I started these out in June, and we're making our way back to Plymouth, Massachusetts, my real life home base. So it's been quite the adventure, especially when Microsoft Flight Simulator became available when I was around Texas. So I wish I could have seen Florida. There was a lot of rain in Florida, but today was also adventurous getting from Cleveland to Buffalo, because we had some low clouds, overcast, and rain, stuff like that. We had a rainbow following us the whole way. That was pretty sweet too. And just really nice flying. I get to practice my cross-country skills, and hopefully the real world, I'll be flying this Saturday. I think
Delta 587, radar contact.
and we'll do a
Proceed.
cross-country flight somewhere. I don't
Proceed
know where yet
direct
because
Slava climbing level 330.
there's some factors that are
Direct
throwing a little
Slavic,
wrench in our
Alpha
plans.
330,
Here's Lockport off to our
587.
left, by the way, so that's a good visual checkpoint right there. And I will say that that is I'm gonna call that 17 as we go by here, but we're still descending from 3,500. So yeah, and it's always like that because I estimate my climb time in the cross country here. But gotta keep going down, 3,500. So let's go. Nice to see you guys here tonight, though. I appreciate the support, and let's give you a good flight. So 3240. Flight fund injection. Oh man! Thank you, Watson. Thank you so much. That will definitely go on the flight fund for cross country. So I really appreciate that. Not needed, but really appreciate the tip. So thank you so much. Remember, all that will go into the flight fund for real-world cross-country flights. Every bit helps. That will pay for a minute of flight, believe it or not. So we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. We're gonna go up to Maine from here. Not the same night, obviously, but we're gonna go up to Maine and then make our way south past Boston to Plymouth, and then we're done. So we're almost done. And I am archiving these on my Eric Flight YouTube channel. I have a whole playlist of just this year's around the USA flights. So we'll it's about 51 flights, I think, as of today. So it's been fun, and I think I'm going to try to do this every
301
year.
Yankee. Take a lead
Gives me
minus
a
base
challenge.
Syracuse, approach offline, radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. 123 Yankee, thanks.
Gives me a challenge on something I really can't do in the real world due to cost and time, and it lets me see the country in a different way. But the Microsoft Flight Simulator obviously has been very good for that with the satellite imagery, and I'm going way too fast here. I should have lowered the RPMs a while ago. I'll trim up to get up to 3,500. Okay, next checkpoint is Kilo Golf Victor, Quebec. That airport is gonna be off our right. It's Genesee County. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Cleveland Center, Pleasant, good evening. Air Canada 433, level flight
Ground
level
speed of
3.
156 knots.
Air Canada 433,
I'll take
please
that.
center
The
ident.
problem is that we're gonna have to go a little slower
433.
because we do not want any type of turbulence with that, and I want to be around maneuvering speed, which I believe in this is 104. So
Air Canada 433, radar contact.
2,300 RPMs, but that ground speed,
5 miles south of
definitely what I was
Syracuse.
looking forward to
Squawk.
tonight.
Squawk
Those winds are strong and
5747.
helping us.
5747, Air Canada 433.
Again, we won't see like a lot of like the greenery or anything, but I want to do a night flight, so. And hopefully I'll be taking some friends up during the night here.
Cleveland
Watson,
Center,
you're the man tonight.
Delta
You are the man.
606
Thank you.
with you at flight level
Really
340.
appreciate that.
Delta 606, Cleveland Center ident.
That might be Genesee County Airport. That might be our checkpoint out there. Again, airports are so much
Cleveland
easier to
Center
see at
ident.
night. So,
Delta 606, radar contact 5 miles south of Syracuse, flight level
but,
340.
earlier in the stream today, when we were flying to Buffalo, I had a lot of questions about airspace and stuff like that, and I tried my best to answer those. So if you have any questions like that, feel free to throw them out, and makes my
Aircraft
flying a little more
433, clear
interesting. It
direct
makes me
east
review
and
things for me
maintain
too
maximum
as well,
forward
so
speed.
it's all good.
Alright, direct Easton, maintain max forward speed, Air Canada 433.
Delta 606, maintain Mach 0.78.
Maintain Mach 0.78,
Delta
Delta
go a little
606.
faster now. Let's go to 2,400 and see what that does for our speed here. That'll help with the climb. The trim is so sensitive on this, and I say that like every stream, but it really is. Back used the trim wheel, and even that is very sensitive. So we'll keep trying our best here. That
Delta
just went over
407,
500 feet,
Cleveland
and I
Center,
barely
squawk
touched that.
5701.
Okay, we're about maneuvering speed, and ground speed is about 142 knots.
Cleveland
If we
Center,
just keep it
South
steady, that'd be
2000,
awesome.
at Detroit, holding short 27 right, ready for takeoff.
I said 88, but I don't think that's totally accurate for a winds aloft here.
Go with
So,
3000, wind
winds
290 at
aloft, but it
15,
seems
gust
like if I
23,
about
fly heading
100,
300,
it
runway
stays more
27
on
right,
course,
clear
so
for
just
takeoff.
gonna keep it like that. Outside.
Go 3000, confirm heading 300.
If any of you want to jump right on, we're gonna be at Rochester, we're going to Syracuse. Feel free. It's up to you. Don't mind having anyone. I had 2 people that were gonna try to make it. One had internet problems, and the other one just couldn't do it. So knock us off, or that's it. It's your choice. I'm on both. We'll be leaving Cleveland Center's territory after Rochester. So most of our flight will be with Cleveland Center with flight following, and this trim would be awesome if it just stay where you left it, but it never does until you finagle it for quite a while. So 152 knot ground speed though, imagine that. That's pretty awesome for speed. So I'll take that any day. All right, off our left will be Pine Hill Airport. I don't know if there's any lighting there. It doesn't look like there's any lighting because there's no star in the sectional, so we won't be able to see that one. But that indeed must be Ganesi because there's no other airport out there.
Aircraft 433, Mach number.
Alright, we gave you Mach 0.8. That's the max we can do, Air Canada 433.
Perfect, thank you.
I think this might be a record for ground speed on all these flights. 156 knots now. So we're going to be hauling some butt here. And, yeah. Said it would take 15 minutes to get there, so it's kind of making sense that we're waiting a little while to do that. My frame rate's god awful, so it must be downloading data or something. So we'll see. Camera's still working. We'll go with it. But it's funny how it can be downloading data and be terrible frame rates, then all of a sudden it perks right back up to 30. I don't get it. Okay, so I'll turn more on course again. I do like flying by hand. That's what I do in the real world as well. I've never touched an autopilot in the real world. Not that I don't know how to use it, even though this isn't the most realistic, but I only use it when I have to, like sending a drone out to Niagara Falls. So. That's one of you, let me know. I really don't know. Now I'm filming 30 frames, see? Just popped that in nowhere. So I'm back to 30 frames, so I must have been downloading some data. Yeah, once again, the trim is not holding where I want it to. And I know it's windy out, but that's kind of ridiculous. Not the most realistic trim. Okay, Ganesi County should be right there. As soon as we're perpendicular to that, we'll take a time check.
432, descend and maintain flight level 320.
So.
320,
Once again, thank you for joining me tonight on this flight. And it's just another step closer
Set a
to
30,
the ultimate
351,
finale.
Boston off, flying radar services, serenade frequency change approved.
Sergeant Cadena, calm Delta 3351, thanks for the ATC.
Really nice night lighting. So, we'll get to Syracuse, well, Rochester and Syracuse, we should see some scenery. So,
Set a 47 approved, report back.
man, this trim. Swear. Come on. That's it. Ganesi County out there, along with the town or city of Batavia behind it.
I got a 463, 5 for stress, descend and maintain flight level 280.
Alright, keep your 9
all those red lights are out there. Towers. There's a tower out there. Alright, let's get a time check. Got 12.5 minutes since Niagara Falls. So that should mean we're like 26 minutes in. Right. 13:27. We're 5 minutes faster. That ground speed's definitely helping us. So, very good. 47 minus 4 is 43. So minus 5 on all times. 2. That's 56.
Delta 606, request descent, please.
Delta 606, pilot
1 hour
discretion
11.
to maintain
Wow, that's
flight
about 10
level
minutes off our flight there with that
280.
ground speed. So far,
Roger,
of course,
descend
that
and
could always
maintain,
change as we keep
280.
adjusting times.
Delta 606.
So. And next checkpoint would
We got a
be
433 cross
Rochester.
Easton at maintain
16 minutes or so.
17,000, Buffalo altimeter
So we'll see if that
2982.
happens.
Let me know your speed and the descent.
16 minutes.
Alright,
Actually, you
Jack,
can
under
kind of see out there in the distance, sorry,
433,
Rochester.
we'll plan to cross Easton at 17,000,
We are in
and
contact
we
with
should be able
Cleveland
to give
Center.
you
That's two-way communication, so we
point
should
8
be
as long
clear
as we can.
for Rochester,
thank you.
Class Charlie. But we'll probably call up and ask him just in case. So 510. We're about 50 nautical miles out. Rochester. So almost 16 maybe. So Cleveland Center says an United Foxtrot just requesting clearance to the Class Charlie over Rochester.
November 48, United Foxtrot, Rochester, altimeter 2979er.
Roger, 2979 United Foxtrot. Earlier today I was tapping that down and it kept like going like full bore. Like I don't know what the heck was going on. It's like the button was stuck, but it wasn't. It seems to be normal again, so I don't know what was going on there. We're heading right for
Delta
Rochester.
432, Chicago offline, radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
It's better to give a heads up with the transition to Charlie rather than just say, oh, I have two-way communication. I don't see anything wrong with just calling it to make sure that they really know you're going through it. So. Very good. Gonna make some good time here. Get some scenery over Rochester when we get there. I'll take an outside view. Let's get closer. But for the amount of wind up here, serving us well. We're at 144 knot ground speed, so we're booking it. 172 here. Yeah, it's just getting that trimmed again. 3,500 is gonna be a little steadier. I'll probably finish up with mostly day flights for the rest of the year on the USA. I just wanted to get a night flight in. And hope to do more real world night flying as well. But the getting current 3 full stop landings flight that I did, which will eventually make its way up to the Eric Flight YouTube channel, was interesting because I had a car actually on the runway and the taxiways as I was trying to land. So I had to go around twice because of a car. I thought it was like hooligans that maybe stormed the airport with a car and just wanted to drive around. No, it was a lady came out of the Syracuse flight school and didn't know where she was going and ended up on the taxiway and the runway. I hope I didn't scare her half to death when I cycled the lights at the airport because it's controlled by frequency. And it was pitch black, obviously, when I was off and cycling to make sure they were on for the 10 minutes that I needed. So. But yeah, the fuel guy eventually got her and escorted her out of there politely. And he's like, yeah, that was one heck of a flight. And I was like, yeah, that cost me about like at least $20 extra. But it's cool. It added up to more flight hours, right? It's all good. The weather is definitely better than where I am currently in Massachusetts. It might have cleared up actually, now that I think of it. It was pretty god-awful all day today. We had rain, overcast clouds. So. Plymouth right now is broken at 42, overcast at 7,000 rain. But Taunton, which is close to where I live in real life, is rain, mist, view at 200.
Delta 407 at pilot's discretion, center maintain flight level 280.
Overcast at 8,000. So, I mean, it's pretty gnarly out here in certain places. You could, you know, not a night to be out if you want to have a nice flight. So, then we also had the temporary flight restriction. We went over Erie International today because I guess Biden was there. So, finish up the campaigns. But Tuesday is the day,
Delta
right?
606, request for the descent to Woolsey.
Delta 606, maintain flight level 280 for now. I'll get you a lower NFU.
So we're gonna stay away from that.
Roger that, standing by for low
We
descent.
shall see the results on Tuesday. Rochester again in front of us. And I don't think I've ever been to Rochester. So, Buffalo, I've been close to because I went to Niagara Falls. But, and to continue the story that if you saw my stream earlier today, the interesting about Buffalo is that I lived around the corner from the former coach of the Buffalo Sabres. That was my connection to Buffalo, I guess. And I was friends with his daughters growing up, and it was kind of cool to have an NHL coach live around the corner. And I didn't really know the magnitude of that at my young age. He actually coached the Edmonton Oilers too when Gretzky was on the team and they won the Stanley Cup in the 80s.
Delta 606, cross Easton at maintain 17,000 of Buffalo.
He actually had the Stanley Cup on his front yard and a couple players over there. Again, I was really too young to actually enjoy that.
I'm sorry, would you mind repeating that, please?
Delta 606, cross Easton at maintain 17,000 of Buffalo, altimeter 2980.
We are currently class Charlie.
Down to
Rochester.
17,000
Okay,
distance.
look outside.
Check it out.
Alright, normal speed now for
Definitely clear enough too. We got some broken scattered. Oh, broken clouds. Maybe scattered. So it's looking pretty nice. The sky looks beautiful. Okay, the wind is nice wind. With a nice ground speed of 144 knots. Beautiful. These are the things that you see when you fly at night too, on clear nights. It's beautiful. The only difference is that it's hard to find lakes and stuff if you're going to use those for visuals in a car. But everything lit up at night, you definitely find airports a lot easier. So. Rochester.
Aircraft full duty 3 times, run at 2125.77.
25-7, we'll see you. Air Canada 433, good night.
Beautiful night.
Delta 606, proceed direct Easton.
Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to set up a
Delta 1253, Cleveland Center,
VOR,
climb maintain flight level
just in case if we
350.
ever get bad weather or something. It's getting some good practice for VOR. 117.0, it's the Syracuse VOR. Switch that over, pick it up, and we'll do our little practice here. I want that needle.
Delta 606, proceed direct distance.
And then we're going to center the needle, and that'll give me a course to go to the Syracuse VOR, which is slightly north of where we want to be, but it'll give me an idea of where to go in case we get lost. And I wish the trim would just hold where it was, but it never does. Alright, so right now, we would head about right where I'm at, about 100 if you want to go direct to the Syracuse VOR. So that gives us a little security, a little redundancy in case something happens. Looks like downtown's right down there.
Delta 407, cross Easton at maintain 17,000, top of altimeter 2980.
That might be the AAA baseball field. I think it's called the Rochester Red Wings, if I'm not mistaken. Over that, Kentucky Red Sox, around. Now they're moved to Worcester, Massachusetts, so that's going to be a little further away. This is minor league baseball. Not a bad downtown, Rochester. This one's a Hall again. sight. So I hope to do that with Providence, Rhode Island someday as I fly over Class Charlie in real life. So we shall see. Time shall tell. But anyways, it's getting harder to fly real world up here too, because a lot of states are closing down to out-of-state visitors due to COVID. Like, you actually have to produce like a COVID test, which I'm not going to do for a flight. So it's just not going to happen. But I was flying out to Connecticut quite a lot the past couple months. And I hit a lot of the airports on the eastern part of Connecticut. And Chester, Connecticut was cool too, because I actually flew that in the simulator first with the Orb X and prepared, and I got to do that in real life. And it was not a hairy landing, it was kind of anxious though, because the winds were really howling out there, and it's kind of like on the middle of the woods type airport. But I did get the, after the go around, I did get to land there, so that was a cool moment to land in an airport that I only previously landed on in the
Delta
simulator.
606,
Got to know
Phoenix,
the
Toronto
simulator
Center
too.
125.77.
And that video again is on the Eric Flight YouTube channel.
125.77. Delta 606.
Stuff like that is cool. The last flight I was going to do was going to be going to Keene, New Hampshire, but the airplane's rudder, something happened to it as I was halfway there at the airport. My friends were too, because they're going to go up with me. And there was a presidential TFR out of Manchester, New Hampshire, so we're going to take a little roundabout way, but that couldn't happen thanks to the rudder and the 172P I was going to rent. And kind of needed the 2,400 gross weight to take up 2 passengers with me, so wasn't going to happen in another 172, because they only have the 172M and N, and it has a gross weight of 2,300, and I need that extra 100 pounds for 2 people, so for weight and balance. But someday, I invited them to go on a night flight with me. Oh, that's cool. Kind of changing the weather with Rex Weather Force, which is working great now, by the way. I was a little disgruntled 2 flights ago.
Cleveland Center, good afternoon. Encore 3609 with you, flight level 240.
Disgruntled when it wouldn't work with the new update, but then they worked on it, and a couple hours later they had it, so. But anyways, we are on our way to Syracuse. We have a couple checkpoints on the way there. Rochester was supposed to be about 43. Which
5705.
So that's cool. All right, we're on our timings now. All right. So next one is Palmyra. Should be in about 8 minutes, and I believe it's a small little town. To the right, yeah. So we should see it though. It's one of the bigger ones, not just a dot in the sectional. So I'm thinking it might be that up there.
American 4, proceed direct DMAC.
There's an airport, restricted airport north of it, but should also be a road. The Erie Canal follows the road as well, so too bad we didn't fly it during the day. We could have seen the canal, but
Syracuse, flight level
I wanted a night flight, so.
Encore 3609, roger.
Delta 407, contact Toronto Center 125.77.
One more view at Rochester. We're on our way to Syracuse, which is our final destination. Man, 136 knot ground speed, so it hasn't been too shabby on these speeds here tonight because of the wind. So that's been cool. The cool aspect of this flight is that we're going to get this done pretty fast compared to what I calculated. And let's change this to, where are you? Cursor, come on. Cursor. I have to put direct 2 first, though. Alright, Kilo. Oh. Cursor. I already did that. Direct 2. There we go. Yeah, okay. I was like, what's going on here? Kilo, Syracuse, Sierra. Again, this didn't work without that mod that I had in here for some weird reason. It gives me good practice. Fun to use the 530 in real life. Enter, activate, good. The only thing that it doesn't do is, on the 530, at least in the 172N I flew, it would tell you to set this to GPS, which it is for some reason. Well, no, it's not. Okay. But you set to GPS, and it'll tell you what to set the heading to, and that way you can use the radial here to intersect the GPS course according to here. So that was kind of cool when I used it in the 172N. Alright, gotta go to the left here, be a little more on course.
Meter 231. Cleveland Center, climb scene, flight level 330.
It's pretty good out here.
Level 330,
Right. And again, we should sell Palmyra off our right. Coming up. Thinking this out here, me. Palmyra. We'll have to see.
Tower 3000, contact Minneapolis Center 133.4.
132.4 for Syracuse.
The Erie Canal is out there, just that we're not going to see it. So sorry about that. That is kind of a bummer. Very historical canal. But we used a combination of the GPS and looking out there to find Palmyra, which is right along the Erie Canal. .146 knot ground speed. Still amazing to get that many knots. But I noticed on some forums on Facebook for real pilots, real world aviation, if you will, that they had some 172 videos of people just like hovering in the air as the wind was that strong that they were going against. So, you know, it's cool to see, but I don't think I'd want to try that. That's just me. So, the Neo was down here to about 80, and he was going nowhere. It was quite interesting. That headwind. All right, let's get an update of where we are here on Fantastic. Here we are. There is Syracuse out in the distance, so we're about halfway there, maybe a little bit over halfway, as you can see by the gold bar at the top of the stream there. We're about 28 minutes out, so, and Palmyra is off our right over here, so let's see, that'd be out here actually, so yeah, that would be Palmyra right there, and that is the road which is following the Erie Canal, so that's where it would be if you were looking. But time check of like 30 minutes plus 14 is 44. I said 51. Let me double check that. Oh yeah, okay. All right, well, so we're making really good time. 56. And hour 3. So by having this ground speed here, which I thought was going to be on average 86 knots till Rochester. I guess it picked up. They must be using the winds aloft from Syracuse more in the sim. I'm supposed to get 148 knots as of now, so. Oh, thank you. My computer setup, I think I did a whole video on that.
American 4, New York off line radar services terminating frequency.
Eric DIY channel. If you check up, oh god, I can't even remember what it is. You know what? I'll send you a link. But I built the computer with him, and he uses it for his games throughout the day as well. But let me give you a link to the computer build. It breaks down everything cost-wise. It costs about $2,000, I think. And I hadn't built a computer since like 2002. But I got tired of doing gaming laptops because you couldn't really upgrade anything on them. And let me see what I can get here. So if you did want to check out my building of this computer that we use, there it is, building custom desktop. I'll send you the link. Give me a second. If you want to check that out, just go right here. It's the Eric DIY channel, which pays for my real world flights, believe it or not. It actually paid for my whole private certificate and training, and has served me well. Pays for the real world flights as of now too. So Palmyra is there. We're going to Clyde next for the next checkpoint, which is another town along the Erie Canal. Should be coming up on our right. But he helped me build it, the parts you could do, you know. I was a little nervous, but building computers has actually gotten a lot easier than when I built them in 2000, 2002. So, and the first Whopper, yeah, we don't eat fast food a lot in my house. I mean, I did growing up because it was awesome, and I actually worked at McDonald's for like a couple months in my teens. But if you fast forward to, see if I can get you a time on the thing there, because it's about a 15-minute long video. I do have a breakdown of the costs. So go to about 15:30 or so, and I'll get to the breakdown of the build. It'll tell you what I have in here. I did upgrade the RAM to 32 gigabytes over time, and I buy used hard drives to store data for outside the computer with all the videos I make. So I have about almost 40 terabytes. I know that's a lot. 40 terabytes and a bunch of hard drives outside the computer hooked up through Mediasonic Pro boxes and stuff like that. But it says total price to build while reusing whatever I could from my old gaming laptop, $2,434.93. So I'm sorry I didn't see that earlier, but that's how much it cost me, and that's buying used stuff here and there. Let's see. I'll break it down for you. The Core i9 9900. Now this is April of 2019 too, so take that into account. But it cost me $472.21 for the processor, the i9. The CPU cooler, it's the KSYR Hydro H115i, $129.99. That was brand new. I bought a ASUS Republic Gamers Maximus 11 Hero motherboard. Bought that used off of Macari. It works great. That was $215, so that saved me some money. The RTX 2080, which was pretty good back then. You could buy a better video card now, but it does great, as you can see. I bought that as an open box off of eBay for $689.56 back then in April, which was a very good price. They've gone for about $800 back then. I bought the Cooler Master Trooper SE case. It's pretty good. It has a hot swappable drive, but I broke that installing it, so that doesn't work for me anymore. But like I said, I have the Pro boxes and stuff to hook up other hard drives, and that was $159.99 for the case. It's still an awesome case. You can get, it's a big, huge case. The power supply, 1000 watt Supernova EVGA. Bought it used on eBay, $93.70. And then I went with the Patriot Viper Steel series. Some people like crap on that, but I don't mind it. I run it at about 4300 megahertz overclocked. But 16 gigabytes back then is $187.60. Again, I bought another 16 gigabytes before Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, and it's worth every penny. So you figure about $300 for memory. And then after the video, I bought a Samsung 970 EVO 2 terabyte NVMe PCI SSD drive, open box. I think that was on Amazon, $438.77. They're a lot cheaper now. Cooler Master Jet Flow case fans. This thing sounds like a jet engine, $38.22. And then I also bought more case fans to cool it off. Just a Cooler Master Single Flow 120 for $9.89. And that's how I got to $2,434.93 back in April. So it's an investment, but I can run anything I want. I'm streaming on the same computer I'm playing on, and it does well. I can't complain. And the kid learned a lot about building computers. So, all right, let's check our checkpoints here.
Encore 3609.
I got two more on course here. Got a little courses and stuff. Clyde should be out to our right. Get along the Erie Canal. So, let's see if there's an airport around it as well. No, there's not.
Encore 3609, direct east.
There is a road going down it, so I'm going to take this as Clyde out here.
Correction 2980, sorry.
And we'll call that. So it's 36 minutes plus 14. It's about 50. I said 50. We're good. All right, Bravo 16, next checkpoint. And that would be Whitford's airport. It'll be off our right as soon as I get more on course. But I hope you heard that, Watson. If not, that you see that link on the computer I do use.
That's
and unlike the gaming laptops that I used to use for work, used to use for work and play, obviously. But I can upgrade this whatever parts I want. Like if I want to get a 3080, 3090, if you will, later on, I can do that. So, and I also mine Bitcoin on it when I'm working on it or not streaming or gaming on it. So I pretty much almost broke even on the video card already from the Bitcoin I did earn with it. It's kind of an investment because it is going up in value. I think Bitcoin's up to 13,700 per Bitcoin now. So when I started mining, it was like a 9,000, went up to 10,000, then it crashed down to 6,000, and now it bounced back to 13,000 Bitcoin. I wish I put more money into it, but I don't really have the money to do that. I'm kind of flying with it and saving it up in other ways. So I do have a buying an airplane fund going on, but the realities of that, I don't know. We're about 1/15th of what I would probably need for a down payment on a 172. So, which isn't bad. But YouTube definitely helps, and I'm talking about the Eric DIY channel. I don't really earn anything on the Eric Flake except for pride, so which I do like. I like documenting what I do, so it's kind of cool to look back on what you did for training and stuff, and all the adventures I go on.
Encore 3609 in Cleveland.
3609, go ahead.
Encore 3609, cross Easton at making 17,000. The Buffalo altitude at 2980.
But
2980 across Easton.
I don't know if it shows Microsoft Flight
17,000
Simulator
for
traffic on there. Like it does if
3609.
it has ADSB in real life. It'll show you like squares and stuff. But I'm not too positive it does that in the sim. All right, we're getting back on course here. That's why I'm taking little turns here. But beautiful night here, and we're about halfway to Syracuse, so we're getting there. We're about 45 minutes or so out from Syracuse. So we will end the Around the USA flights for tonight at Syracuse. We're not going to go any further. So, got work tomorrow. Watson, if you did see that, let me know. Because if you didn't, I'm going to mention it when you come back in another stream. So, I do want to answer your question. Especially due to your generous tip there. And Zach was actually talking about flying with me on the sim today, so I don't know. He might appear sometime when it's on a night flight like this, and I'll try to work him in because I know that people do like seeing him. He's usually my navigator. He grabs the GPS map.
Syracuse approach offline. Radar services terminated. Frequency change approved.
Roger, 9 Echo Foxtrot. Thank you. Have a good night. 00 Squawk VFR. And
0587. New York offline. Radar services terminated.
Unicom. So we shouldn't hear him, but we share any traffic that's around the area on VATSIM. And Whitford's airport should be coming off our right in the distance. We're about 8 nautical miles or so away. And I think this is reading this wrong, so let's go direct to Syracuse. Yeah, there we go. We're about 15 minutes out, people, not 45. I knew something was wrong when I said that. In fact, Syracuse should see in the distance coming up, so. Some traffic out there. Wonder if that's VATSIM or it's Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know. That could be VATSIM traffic. So, but we're missing all those storms to go to Syracuse. I'm not pointing south anymore, by the way. Fix that, but we're right outside Syracuse right now. So we're definitely getting there. Again, I appreciate all of you watching my stream tonight as we try to build up more followers. Get a little bumpy here at turbulence. That was to be expected as well. Lower the RPMs a little bit to get to maneuvering speed here. We're a little above it. But still in the green. It's not terrible. We just don't want to make any sudden abrupt movements in turbulence so we don't break up. It's always a good thing not to break up, right? And again, Whitford should be out in front of us. Here's keep an eye out for it. It doesn't have a beacon though, and I wasn't thinking about that when I put this checkpoint, but there is Cross Lake that will be to the left of it as well, which is why I picked it. Could be that, but it doesn't say it has lit up. that would be Whitford out there. I mean, Whitford's airport. So that is good. I'm gonna go slightly more east, north, I mean, to get back on track here. Alright, there's Class Charlie, but seeing that there's no air traffic controller here, it's gonna be treated as a non-towered airport. And it's gonna be all us. So let's get a weather check here for Syracuse. Get a time check on Whitford's in a second. So ATIS there is 124.225.
Bravo Niner Airport information, Oscar 0300 Zulu. Wind 216 at 71. Visibility, Niner. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 11. Dew point, 13. Altimeter 29.74. Visual runway 28 in use. Landing and departing runway 28. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have, Oscar.
Oscar, we got here the winds.
Bravo 16 airport information, Oscar 0300 Zulu.
Why does that say 16?
Flight 216
No.
at 71.
You're supposed to be Syracuse.
Bravo 16 airport information, Oscar 0300 Zulu.
That's weird.
Wind 216 at 71. Visibility, Niner. Sky condition, clear.
Alright, I don't know what's going on with weather, but I got the right frequency.
2.13.
124.225.
74. Visual runway 28 in use. Landing and departing runway 28. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions.
I don't know.
Advise controller
But
on
I believe
initial
that is out
contact
in
you
the
have,
distance.
Oscar.
That's Syracuse. Here we go. Winds one
Kilo
more time.
Foxtrot Zulu Yankee Airport information, Oscar 0300 Zulu. Wind 216 at 71. Visibility, Niner.
Are you kidding me?
Sky condition, clear.
Did I hear that right? At 7.1 for winds? That's insane.
Altimeter 29.74.
I mean, I understand we're getting quite the ground speed, but 130 knots.
Runway 24. VFR aircraft say direction of
24.
flight. All
Again,
aircraft read
they're
back
saying
hold
it's
short
also
instructions.
Whitford's,
Advise controller on initial
which doesn't
contact you
have
Oscar.
any weather in real life. So I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, now it's saying Syracuse. That's weird.
6 Bravo Niner Airport information, Oscar 0300
What?
Zulu. Wind 216 at 71.
Did you hear that?
Visibility, Niner.
Alright.
Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 11.
You know what it's doing, I think? I think it's reading Weather Force's
Altimeter
METAR in there.
29.74.
So they're taking it from 6 Bravo 9.
Landing and departing runway 28. VFR aircraft
Gusting to
direction of
18.
flight.
250
All
at
aircraft read
11.
back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have, Oscar.
Alright, this is crazy. Alright, well, let's do weather
Bravo
one more time.
16 airport information,
Yeah.
Oscar 0300 Zulu. Wind
Alright.
216 at 71.
Something afoot here,
Visibility, Niner.
weather-wise,
Sky condition,
on the
clear.
radio.
Temperature, 12. Dew point, 13.
But we'll search it here.
Altimeter
Syracuse.
29.74. Visual runway 28
Oh,
in use.
so you can't look at
Landing and
it
departing
during
runway
live weather
28.
either?
VFR
Really?
aircraft say direction of flight.
Okay.
All aircraft read back hold short instructions.
Let's try it one more time. I'm sorry to be bugging you with the METAR so much, but let's see what happens.
6 Bravo Niner airport information,
That's
Oscar
weird.
0300 Zulu. Wind
Alright,
216
well.
at 71. Visibility, Niner.
Go with what's closest, but Syracuse is ahead of us,
Temperature,
and I believe that is the airport ahead of us.
Altimeter 29.74.
So, it might not be actually. It looks like it's one more to the south.
Landing and departing runway
Here's
28.
Camillus, which is a private
VFR
airport,
aircraft say direction of flight.
and I'm done
All
checking
aircraft read
checkpoints.
back
We're
hold
just gonna go
short
toward the
instructions.
city.
Advise control.
And what we'll do is we'll plan for 2-8. Seeing that the winds are mostly from the west. Alright. Very good. I guess that's the best we're going to get. Let's get the pattern altitude, which is 1,400. So we'll do cruising descent. That means we lower the RPM to about 2,100, 2,200, and just let it drop. About 500 feet per minute, so I'll trim up a little bit. And we'll call about 10 miles out from Syracuse and see where we are, give a position report to people out there. See what I mean about the trim though? There's trim for 500, then it goes up all that way. Like that's ridiculous, that's not realistic. Welcome to Syracuse, everybody. We're not on the ground yet, though. And let's get a... Runway 28 is a left traffic pattern. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the south here. We'll intercept with the left 45 downwind, which is the safest way of doing it. And we have to be kind of inside because they said there's a TFR at the stadium now. Let me update my TFRs here on the tablet. We'll see if that's still in action here. So that downloads it from the internet. And it looks like it still is. Let's see if I can see it on SkyVector. No, doesn't have it here. So you know what? I'll go with SkyVector because I trust that more than Avere. And must be the football stadium for the college or something. But 1,400 pattern altitude. Excuse me while I take a sip of iced tea. I go right out of the gallon bottles. Just go with it. Mr. Full Rich, because we're under 3,000 feet. Landing makes men thirsty, right? You know it. You know it. Alright. And it cleared up here. It says few at 4,000, few at 8,000 on SkyVector. So that's pretty nice. It's gusting 18 winds, 250 at 14, hence why we're going for 28. And yeah, the ATIS is really messed up on this. So I'll give it one more shot though. Let's see if it says it.
Kilo Foxtrot Zulu Yankee Airport information Oscar 0300 Zulu. Line 216 at 71.
No clue what's going on there. It does not use Syracuse at all. That's all good. Alright, we are flying over Camillus Airport. That's a private airport right outside Syracuse. And again, we're doing a cruising descent down to 1,400. Let's get the pattern altitude for Syracuse. Whiffy Impala. Awesome nickname. Logan 9 Reed. Saratha, number 4468. If you ever want to find me, by the way, it's Eric Flight US, Microsoft Flight Simulator. So feel free to try to find me if you fly Microsoft Flight Simulator multiplayer, and join me on some flights. Always like company, so. Again, a VAT sim. The only ones that are around this are Toronto Center, so we're treating this like it's non-towered going into Syracuse. Well, look at those beautiful lights. Again, I wish I saw more car traffic at night in the simulator. I wish they would beef that up, along with some train traffic. That would be cool too, on rails and stuff. And I think that was under the list of improvements. It's really on the back burner, but they did acknowledge that, I think, on the improvements they would try to make. So that would be interesting. It'd be cool to see more dynamics on the ground and not just in the air. So, just my take, being a VFR pilot. So. Alright, pretending that the stadium is fine, because on SkyVector it's showing that it's good, which probably means that the hours of the football game are over, which makes sense because it's like 11 o'clock almost over here. And that the TFR is down. So, there's supposed to be a little track outside Camillus too, so I don't know if you can see that or not. What's that? No. But it's intriguing how they make the satellite imagery look really good at night as well. It's really cool to get that dynamic. Alright, we're going to trim up, seeing that we're getting close to 1,400 feet. And we are going south of the airport. We are in Class Charlie already. It's down to 1,600 here. Then we're going to briefly be outside of it because it rises up to a floor of 2,300 right here. But we're almost in the inner circle, which is surface to 4,400 feet. So. Trim up. The winds are pretty strong. They feel, you know, it feels like there's some wind out here, which is nice to see on the simulator because I don't think it's the best when emulating the effects of wind on aircraft. Even though they kind of hyped it up when they first released the simulator, they still have a way to go on flight dynamics with wind and stuff. So, Syracuse traffic, Cessna Niagara Foxtrot, 6 miles to the southwest. We're setting up a left 45 downwind for runway 28, Syracuse. We're calling out in the VATS and Unicom, so that way they can plan things. But the airport's right out there, as you can see, to our left. So we're gonna start heading in and fly right over the city. We're also gonna descend a little bit more, and we'll look outside while we're doing this one. Syracuse, New York, everybody. There is the airport. Beautiful sky, and when it really cleared up, I'm really happy that it did. So when I first went this flight, it looked pretty overcast up here. So, hey, what's up, aviation guy? That aviation guy, by the way. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in. How's it going? All right, we're gonna increase the RPM slightly as we get to 1400. Just pattern altitude for Syracuse, and we'll call on 3 mile 45. Left downwind for runway 28 in a second. Did I have spam chat? I think that's just more of my automatic things to let people know about my airflight channel and stuff. Did I miss some spam chat there? I don't think so. And then I left a link to answer a question of somebody. So, not exactly spam chat, just more of a, hey, this is what I do, check it out if you want type deal. Syracuse traffic, Cessna Foxtrot, 3 miles out in the 45, left downwind, runway 28, Syracuse. And we'll treat this like non-tower because again, VATS doesn't have anyone on here, so. This is Syracuse, New York, landing there, and it's a little bumpy, it's a little gusty, but we're gonna do it, and we flew from Buffalo, New York. We took a quick little look at Niagara Falls with the drone feature, and now we're just about to end our flight at Syracuse. So, all right, you can see that wind is definitely gonna need some correction here. It's coming from right behind us. It should be a tailwind. So slightly from our, oh, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator, the newest one. So real world time and weather. 28's right about there, but in real life we'd probably crab out a little bit more because the wind's gonna be pushing us from the right. So we'll crab out here too as well. And we're set up pretty good, about halfway up the wing strut, so that's good. Syracuse traffic, Cessna Foxtrot, left midfield, downwind, runway 28, Syracuse. Beam the numbers here. You know, go to 1700 and 10 degrees of flaps, which we're under 110 knots. So right about there. Yep, 2020. 1700. Okay, level off. Just keep it straight until it hits 110. 10 degrees of flaps and angle down. Very good. Setting at about 500 feet per minute. We should also be about 80 knots by the end of this. So that's what we're hoping. That's 2.8 right there, so we're pretty lined up pretty well. Again, the hardest thing is peripheral vision in the simulator. Extend the downwind a little bit so I can get a good setup. There are some cars down there, but again, you don't see like lights on the cars and stuff like other simulators. It'd be nice if they kind of did that. I know it's not a big thing. All right, turning left base, clear on the left. My right rudder sticks a little bit, so just help me understand that if I have to kick the right rudder, that's why. But I need a new pair of rudder pedals. All right, as soon as we're on base, we'll go down to 1500 and put in another 10 degrees of flaps. But we're running right about 80 knots here, which is where we should be. Peripheral vision sucks on this thing. In real life, you can see that already. You can kind of judge it better. 1500 and 10 more degrees as long as we're in the white arc there, which we are. Should be down to about 70, and I'm immediately going to turn final because again, peripheral vision stinks in the simulator. Well, it's not that bad honestly. It's nighttime, you know, so it's I actually think it's better than prepared and stuff for nighttime flying. So I actually kind of like the lighting actually. So I think it's really realistic. But if you do daytime, you can see a lot with the satellite imagery. So the thing I'm waiting for is seasons though. What don't you like about the nighttime? Okay, we're a little too fast here, so I'll pull back the throttle. Should be about 70 coming in here. Then we'll give it a final 10 degrees of flaps. Let's trim up a little bit too. Syracuse traffic, Cessna Niagara Foxtrot, final runway 28, Syracuse. And got my airport diagram ready to go. Last 10 degrees of flaps, that should slow us down to about 65, which is where we want to be, so I'll put a little more throttle in there. Let's land this. Well, X-Plane has the better flight dynamics, I'll give you that, and I just never really got into X-Plane, so I would have to try X-Plane again at night, but I've always been a Microsoft guy, so that's the only reason why I stick with Microsoft. There are pros and cons to everything, you know. I'm not going to say one's better than the other, because that's not true. Here we go, we're landing at Syracuse. Planes tend to float more in this too as well, so not a bad landing. Hopefully my right rudder cooperates with me, which it's not, so that's why I had to kick it, sorry. And aerodynamic braking is still non-existent on the simulator, so if I pull it up it wants to fly again, see? So, flaps up. Okay, generally aviation is down the airport. The main terminal is off to my right, so which is over there. So I'm going to go to the left and over here. The National Guard is over there as well. So I will taxi off. I'm going to go down to the next one. I'm going to taxi off at November. So yeah, the scenery here is. They have a lot more coming out, but the taxi lights are messed up still, and stuff like that. But I don't mind it so much. I kind of like the night flying on the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I gotta be honest with you. I think that was one of the stronger points of it, just for lighting at least. All right, November should be coming up on our left, and we'll clear the runway. There you go. There's the yellow line, and we'll follow that off. My rudders are really messed up, so just put up with it. Thinking about getting some Thrustmaster TPRs if they ever come back in stock, so hopefully soon. Alright, we are clear. Syracuse traffic, Cessna Niagara Foxtrot, clear for runway 28, Syracuse. Let's go to the checklist. And flaps up. Yep, strobes off. Beautiful. Landing lights will leave on. Mixture, good. Trim, set for takeoff. Looks good. Alright, and I like to leave my landing and taxi lights on because it is night, number one. Number two, I leave them on even over the day. Both overcompensate for the engine. Yeah, if you think there are some mods out there for the 152, not so much the 172, and the mod makes it a little bit better on the 152. I gotta be honest with you. So people are working on things outside of the Microsoft Flight Simulator team. They still tend to float a little bit on landing. So, all right, let's look at the airport diagram and. Generally, aviation parking is, again, to the right on Hotel over here, and right down there. So that's where we're going to head, right on Hotel. And we'll make our way there. That's a Republic Airlines flight. That's real world. So that's real world weather, traffic, excuse me, that they put into the simulator. So that is cool to see. And if I had time, I'd put it in Flight Radar 24 and we can get like the aircraft type and everything. It's one of the things I like to do while flying. But it is what it is. What I had prepared, I had the Coronado 152 and 172, and that was a mess. I had to fix the flight dynamics on that, and I never got it perfect still. So, all right, there should be a turn off here. Generally, aviation parking's over here. Here we go, and we'll park it right over here. So, straight ahead, we'll be fine. All right, well. That's our flight for tonight. Let's just park this thing and then we'll send the drone out, take a look at the scenery around, and call it a night. So, ELT, verify silent, avionics off. Also lights except for beacon. Beautiful. Alright, mixture up. Well, we'll leave these lights on, we'll turn them on off after. Mixture fully. Very good. Mags off, master off, lights off. Parking brake on, even though we almost never do that in the real world because of the hydraulics. If there's a leak, you have a problem. All these lights will go off. Good. outside air temperature thing there. Good. All right, let's take a look outside. Welcome to Syracuse, everybody. This is the default scenery, and looks like this Republic Airlines is. Oh, I missed your message there. I'll scroll back up to it. Yeah, I can see that. It's something to get used to. I work on my cross-country skills. Like I did the flight log and everything, and did checkpoints. So I also like to look at airports that I'm gonna attempt in real life that I've never been to before. Like I was gonna do Keene, New Hampshire until the 172P I was renting had a rudder problem, and I got to see like where the mountains are. So on runway 32, that would have been kind of hard. And then they say runway 2 if the winds are calling for that, because that's the probably the safest runway to go there in Keene, New Hampshire. But here's Syracuse for you with the drone, and you know, is what it is. This is coming in from Chicago in real life. Now, see, I want to check that out. Let's go to Flight Radar 24 and see if we can find it really fast. RPA 4544. Excuse me. And I'm using this app called Flight Radar 24. If you haven't heard of it, you can type in NC traffic. That's Republic Airways, Chicago to Syracuse. It is run by American Eagle. It's an Embraer 175. So that's what you just saw right there. Landing at Syracuse, but I think it disappeared. Or it's on the ground, hopefully. I don't know, but it did come in at 2.8 there. I don't see it now, though. So they have a little work to do on the real world traffic as well. But Syracuse from here, and I can set this back to day to show you daytime. I just wanted to do a flight at night. So Syracuse is all around the airport here. And this is what it looks like at night here. The chat overlay is part of the Streamlabs OBS. It's I think it's just called chat overlay. So yeah, well, I don't know. I'm gonna go for my instrument rating hopefully in 2021. But I tried to do an RNAV approach, and they didn't have any of that data in the 530, the GPS for the 172. So that was kind of a bummer. And I have to figure out what's going on with that. I did download some Navtech data. Is that what it's called? I think it's what Navtech data. And I was going to see if that was working. But here's downtown Syracuse. And if we want to see daytime, we'll just go here. I think it's under weather. It might not be. Oh, yeah, it is. If we go daytime, it'll show us Syracuse during the day, which is pretty cool to see. It'll keep the weather and everything. This weather is, yeah, that's what I've been told. So the Plymouth Aero Club out of Plymouth was, no, hopefully it doesn't crash now. Sorry if it does. There we go. It's just loading some scenery. I was told it had a nice restaurant there, but with COVID and stuff, I gotta be really careful. I'm a teacher, and I'm kind of teaching remotely from home, so it'd be really bad if I caught COVID while flying, seeing that they're letting me teach remotely from home. And I'm not gonna stop flying, but I have to do it safely. Like, I wear a mask even though it's only me in the plane. That's actually a COVID procedure for my flight school. And some people think that's ridiculous, but I'm gonna do whatever it takes to respect the fact that they're letting me teach remotely from home for a job. So there you go, downtown Syracuse. Not really. I'm just a private pilot. I hope to get the instrument rating in 2021. I'm building up my cross-country time for that. So I have about 38 hours of cross-country time. I'm trying to get to 50, and then I'm gonna do the instrument rating. And I think that's about as far as I want to go. I'm not out to make it a career or anything. I might do CFI because I'm a teacher in real life, but it's not something I'm gonna actively pursue right away. I want to just do it for fun, and I do. I have lots of fun. I've wanted to do flying since I was 18, and my wife calls it the midlife crisis, and she doesn't enjoy me doing it at all. We have 2 kids and everything, and it does take away some time, but it's something I've wanted to do since I was 18. So when I have the means to do it, thanks to YouTube and viewers like you, that paid for everything. It still does to this day. Like I said, the Eric DIY channel. So that, you know, if you get on VATSIM, you can do a lot of practicing. I was using VATSIM tonight, but the controllers aren't out here. And well, that's cool. You know, I never really mean, I asked my instructor because he was a teacher with me. That's how we had a connection. And this isn't Syracuse, is it? Oh, it is. Okay, that was just the terminal. But he taught science at the high school that I teach at. And he was involved in like Bar Harbor Airlines and stuff like that. He's in his 70s now, so he retired from teaching. He doesn't miss it at all. And but if you get on VATSIM, you can practice that. That's how I got my comms. Even on VATSIM, well, keep working on it. I found that if you have a flow chart of what they're expecting, you'll be good. And I'm not perfect either all the time, obviously. But anyways, we're gonna end the stream for tonight. Unless you have any other questions, I don't mind talking with you a little bit more. But we accomplished what we set for today, which is land at Syracuse on my Around the USA flights. I'll show you how much longer we have to go on that. It's not that much farther because we're going to my real life home base of Plymouth, Massachusetts. So first off, let me show you this. Excuse me. Playing it all in Sky Vector. We started in Plymouth, Massachusetts back in June of 2020. Flew the whole perimeter of the United States. This is what prepared. Then right about here is when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out. We started using that and flew throughout the whole Southwest. Excuse me. Up the West Coast to the Northwest, through the mid United States here. And we came down, and now we just got through today. We left from Cleveland, and in 2 flights we got all the way to Syracuse. So really, we're just going to go across Vermont, New Hampshire, up to Maine. There's not a lot of airports up here as you get up here, so we're going to stop at Bangor, Maine, and then just literally go down south to Plymouth. And once you land at Plymouth, we have successfully done the whole perimeter of the United States, and hopefully it will get done in November, which is this month, obviously. But yeah, I did something like this last year. I like doing it. It helps me practice my cross-country skills. I do the flight logs and everything, and I get the E6B out with the winds aloft, and we have a good time with it. It's time-consuming. This will be video number 52 of the whole thing. I have it all archived. If you want to spend 50-something hours of your life watching it, go ahead. And it also shows you the way I learned how to stream. I started streaming in June when I started doing these flights as well. So, and I do appreciate all of you watching my stream. But it's been quite the undertaking, and after that, we're going to do some special flights. This Wednesday, I belong to the Virtual USA Flying Club. You'll see a banner over here to the, yeah, that way. And if you want to join the Virtual USA Flying Club, it's a pretty cool club. We do general aviation flights and events on VATSIM. And, well, you'll get there. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit of everything. I did virtual airlines back in the day, so I learned a lot about VOR and stuff from that. And obviously for the private pilot, you have to learn all that stuff too as well. But I'm hoping to get the instrument rating for 2 things. 1, if I ever buy a plane, the insurance will hopefully be cheaper, which it should be. And 2, it keeps you just more competent as a pilot and safer, if you ask me, because you have a lot more things at your disposal should you get in hairy situations, which I don't really put myself in real life. But in the simulator, I do it once in a while just to have some fun. So, but yeah. Anyways, I do have to I work tomorrow, so I would love to stay up all night, but I can't do the flight management computer either. Honestly, I've looked at videos and it's not even complete at most of the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 aircraft. That's what I've been told at least. So, but I haven't done the big airliners since I did virtual airlines in the early 2000s. So I'm more general aviation now that I'm a private pilot. So, but anyways, please push that follow button on Twitch. We need more followers. I think I got 6 more to go until we get to 50, and then I will be eligible for affiliate basis, and I can give you some cool, more interactive things on the Twitch stream. Also, check out the Eric Flight channel on YouTube. Subscribe and like any videos you see there. All these streams are archived on there, and yeah. But please tune on in on future streams. I'm hoping to get up this week and maybe even get this done this week, 'cause there's not many flights to go. I mean, we're going to go, probably that will be 1 flight to Lake Placid, and then another flight here. So that's 2, 3, 4. So we got about 5 flights, 4 to 5 flights to go. And hope that you tune in. So they're really fun. It'll probably be daytime for the rest of them. I wanted 1 more nighttime, so that's why we did that tonight. And without further ado, have a great night. Remember to follow and like and subscribe on the Eric Flight. Check out the real world videos. I have some more coming out. Have to edit them. It takes hours to do it, so please watch them. I do like documenting my flights, but please watch them because it makes you feel better. And have a great night, everybody. See you later.